It's a situation that all of us here personally experienced on the panel, and one that I'm sure many of you at home can relate to. After you've split up with the father of your children, how easy is it when your kids are introduced to their new partner? Now, this is something that One Direction's Louis Tomlinson is reportedly going through at the moment. He's split from the mother of his child and has now got a new girlfriend. It's not easy, is it, Jane?
It isn't easy, but I do think, I mean, it depends on the personalities involved, really, because I think there is a sort of an etiquette that's quite easy to follow. So I have a stepdaughter. I've never trod on her mother's toes. She's got a mother. I've been sort of just, you know, a consultant in her life, I would say. She comes to me if she wants to talk about something that she's already spoken about with her mum. And my husband is stepfather to my daughter. And I just think you just sort of muddle along, and as long as the other person in the equation isn't being too sort of, treading on your toes, then that's absolutely fine. And I don't particularly agree. I mean, I didn't do that. I never imposed rules on my daughter's father saying, well, you can't introduce her to X, Y or Z, because I was secure in my own role as a mother. Yeah. So I didn't ever feel that anybody was going to take my place. And I think sometimes when you do that, you're either insecure about your own abilities as a mother, or you're using your children as a way of getting at the other partner and saying, I'm going to control your life even though we're no longer together, by saying who you can and can't see.
It's difficult. I mean, I know, that, again, we don't know how true this is, but it's been reported in the paper that she doesn't want his new girlfriend to cuddle the baby for at least a year. That's an incredibly difficult thing to sort of...
But babies need cuddles from everybody.
That's kind of young kind of thing.
I was going to say that's
young, and probably she's maybe a little bit jealous that he's got a new partner.
Yeah, and hurting.
And she's hurting, and she is a new mum, and she's going through all those...
It's a very raw time, especially if you're not together with the father of your child when they're so young. I know my son was 2 when I split up from his dad, and I must admit that I was very lucky, actually. He's been with his partner now. We've been apart for 12 years now. They're now married and they've got 2 kids of their own. So Finley met his now stepmom when he was pretty much a baby himself. But I was really happy that he was going into an environment where he was with a very happy couple. She's a lovely woman, and we've all sort of built a relationship as the years have gone on. We all go together to parent evening. My son's 14 now, and we all sit. It's all very modern, you know. Hello, I'm the mum, I'm the dad, I'm the stepmom, I'm the. But it's because we all want to be on page and make sure that we're raising.
I think the trickiness happens is when there's somebody involved that, you know, you don't like, or you don't, who are sort of a bit authoritarian around your children in a way that you're not, or whatever.
In my situation with Emily, I think she's really nice. I'm actually glad he's with someone like her. She's a proper lady. She speaks really well. It seems she's come from a lovely family. The kids love her, never say a bad word about her. I'd rather he be with someone like her than some gobby person like me. And I have to thank her, because I actually thank her that now the situation with us all talking, I think, made a difference in having a woman and his wife. So now we all get on, because Kieran's always been nice with Pete. Yeah. And the kids prefer it. I think
that's the thing. I mean, for me, the first time I had to introduce my kids to Shane's then girlfriend at the time, and when I invited her around for a cup of tea, because Shane wanted to go on holiday with her and take the boys, and I thought, I really don't want them to meet her at the airport. You know, they have to meet her. Because for me, the thing was, so they didn't feel guilty. I didn't want them to feel guilty for liking her.
I mean, that was really good of you, though, because she was the one that broke up the marriage, wasn't she?
Yeah.
It's true. It's not like,
but you know what? That aside, actually, when we met, we became really good friends. And you know why I ended up loving her? Because she loved my kids. And I thought, you know what? I can forgive you anything. Just take care of my kids when you're there. And she used to ask, you know, she'd phone me if they had them. She'd phone me up and go, "What do you think of this?" And she used to help me out with everything. And I just didn't want the kids to feel guilty. I didn't want them to feel disloyal by coming in and going, "Oh, she did this today and she did that." You know, I wanted them to be able to say that. Inside, I was a little bit like, "Oh, did she?"
My mum was just as bad. When she first met Kieran, because my mum's really funny about what guys I go with, to the point, have you signed a confidentiality form and all of this? I had to pretend that Kieran was gay to even allow him in the house. I'd be like, Mum, it's just one of my gay friends. So if he did stay over, he would have to stay the other side of the house, nowhere near my room, because obviously I live with my kids as well.
Yeah.
So the only way I could get around it was he had to stay at the other end of the room, and I had to pretend he was one of my gay friends.
Did you tiptoe down the corridor at night like a teenager?
No, I didn't, because the kids would come in my room. So I had to do it all that way. But obviously I was married him after 5 weeks, so...
OK,
but,
right.
So your mum kind of worked it out at the wedding?
Well...
Yeah. Was she like that? He seems a lovely boy, but is he gay or what?
Yeah,
you know, what's actually...
The main thing in all of it, I think, is that kids shouldn't feel the need to be diplomats.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
They shouldn't need to feel that they've got to tread. You know, we've had a lot of comments on this, as you might imagine. Martin, obviously a man, I wouldn't let my ex introduce any girlfriends to our children unless his relationship was serious. They were living together or getting married. Emily, I think it's ridiculous. Babies know their parents. I understand she doesn't want a girlfriend taking a parenting role, but come on, you can't keep your child from meeting people.
Yeah.
And you should never use your kids as a weapon to get back at your other half.
Never. I think the most important thing is you put your feelings to one side so that they're happy. Have a little cry on your own. We've all done that.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.
And then she sat there and said to me one day, yeah, but the difference between me and you is he wouldn't do that to me.
Oh, how horrible.
In other words, I mean, look at you, but he's not going to do it to me. So you know what I did? I slept with him again that night.